hydrogen energy offers one solution, emitting only water as a byproduct and no greenhouse gases. Hydrogen can support the adoption of renewables by fine-tuning energy supply. Hydrogen can store and transport vast.
Okay, sorry, y'all. I had got a phone call just as it was getting ready to. I was getting ready to come on. How are you guys doing? What's going on a Saturday night? On a Saturday night, what's going on, everybody? So, I just got some information, and I am going to research. But what I was just told about Tim and his sentence, because I've been seeing a lot of comments. People have been saying, he may only do 85% or 25 years and this, that, and the other. I don't know Tim's age for sure. So I am not certain how old Tim is, his age. But what I was just told is that he has to do, life, just no parole, that he's not coming out. He has to do life. And that when he does decease, his body will go to the federal grave site. Family members can't come get his body and bury him wherever. Now that's what I was told. You guys can look that up. He's 44. So if he's 44, that's a long goddamn. Child. I don't know. It's a long time. Life. But like I said, I was just told that he pretty much won't be getting out. He won't be getting out unless he's deceased. Like Dre is deceased. Okay. Hello, Letha from St. Louis. How you doing? Thank you for still coming in. And and that when he does decease, that family can't get his body. It will go to the federal grave site. I didn't even know they had a federal grave site, child. Great job, PP lady. You did this. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good evening, everyone. Sacramento in the house. Justice for Andre. We got it. We just doing some tying up loose ends, a little recapping on, we're going to get into some other stuff. So I hope you guys will continue to watch. But yeah, I had just got a call on that, stating that when he gets out, he won't be getting out. Life is what he has, and he'll be deceased when he does come out. He'll be going to the federal grave site. Now, you guys have been letting me have it in the comment sections. Some say I play too much music. The music is too long. I know they're gonna talk about this intro in the beginning because, like I said, I got a phone call. That's why I went a little longer. But you guys have been saying that the music too long. Don't like the music. I talk too much before I get into it. I just be trying to chop it up with y'all and welcome everybody in. Like Miss Brenda, how you doing? Maso, thank you. And Kizzy, my I almost said my underwriters, my moderators. I'm thinking insurance. But yeah, honey, y'all been letting me have it. Smooth Morrison, how you doing? I was waiting patiently for PP to get the tea, the originator of the Tim Norman story. Well, I won't say I'm the originator, but I did cover it along with everybody else. I'll take that. But yeah, but people like certain things. Like you say, some like the music, some didn't like the music. I remember when it was in the heat of things. Some of the people said, "Oh, don't play that song. Everybody ain't your friend. It's too much cursing." Then the older folks, I like that song. Play it. You can't please everybody. Sometimes you just got to compromise. Okay, you got to compromise. Who can we call for Carlether? It's your spot. It's your spot. Do what you want. Kizzy, where's that number? It's on did I put it on the community tab? No, I didn't. The number to call for Carlether, because we got Miss Jackie. We need to call them every day. Every day. And this first story that I'm going to talk about real quick. Hello, Simply Red, how you doing? What's going on? This first story is ironically from Gwinnett County. Georgia, where Carlether lost her life. Norcross 13-year-old's demise deemed justifiable homicide, Gwinnett police say. Gwinnett police, how ironic is this? They're saying that a 13-year-old's homicide is justifiable. Now, this is the same little town and city that hasn't given Maxwell his court date. Okay. Police confirmed that a teen that was shot, Jaden Travis, may not bear criminal liability, but may bear criminal liability for his demise. The police confirmed. No, that another teen took his life. This is in Gwinnett County. A teen accused of murking a 13-year-old boy in Norcross last month may not face criminal charges in his demise. Gwinnett County Department confirmed that a teen, a teen that took Jaden Travis in February, and investigators determined that the murking was justifiable. Now, when y'all gonna set up a court date for Maxwell Williamson? Investigators said Travis was murked by the teen after he pulled a weapon. The 13-year-old was his life was taken on Valentine's Day during a dispute between him and several others. He probably had to pull a weapon. There was a bunch of them. Gwinnett County is suspect, if you ask me. A witness told 11 Alive that the murking happened after a car pulled up and two teens stepped out. The witness claimed he saw Travis carrying what appeared to be a weapon. Do we know for a fact that it was a weapon? Jeanette, Travis' mom, said one of the boys put out a gun because they saw her son with a BB. It wasn't even a real one. It was a BB gun. Police said Travis was carrying a weapon. He died in the hospital after shots were fired. Gwinnett County Police said the teen who took Jaden's life is now accused of tampering with evidence and a minor in possession of a weapon. Loved ones hosted a vigil for Travis's demise the day after the shooting. Millicent said she doesn't want to see other families holding a vigil after losing a child. We've just got to stop the violence, put the weapons down. It don't solve nothing. Everybody's family ends up hurt, she said after the shooting. The police department will now hand its findings over to the Gwinnett County District Attorney's Office for review. Child, please, that the District Attorney Office is a joke. Okay. Let me see.
Live news at 5 p.m. Start.
Hold on. We are simply doing we are reviewing. This is under section 10. Hold on. Let me get my stuff. 107. Let me put it up. Okay.
Now.
First at 5, we have new details about the two teens shot in the metro just hours apart. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Faith Jesse.
And I'm Jennifer Bellamy. The first shooting happened last night just before 6 o'clock in Norcross. The second, a few hours later, around 9:45 in Northwest Atlanta.
Yeah, the shooting in Norcross led to the death of a 13-year-old boy outside of his home. Gwinnett police have not named a suspect or made any arrest.
Jaden Travis's family and friends are now planning to gather at 6:30 tonight for a vigil. Our Brittany Klein-Peters spoke with his mother about this devastating loss.
He was a daddy's boy for sure, but he didn't play about his mama.
Jaquita describes her son, Jaden Travis, as an old soul taken far too soon.
Yesterday morning, before he went to school, he called me. He said, "Mama, telling you happy Valentine's Day," before I went to school. That was the last time I talked to him.
Police say someone shot Jaden Travis near his home on Windward Lane around 5:40 Tuesday night. Gwinnett County Police tell 11 Alive it all started when a fight broke out between Travis and several other people.
And some individual decided to produce a firearm and shoot one of the parties involved.
Travis's mom says classmates bullied her son for several years, and she recently placed him in a different school. According to police, Travis was taken to the hospital where he later died. At last check, no arrests have been made. Police say they are still investigating. In Gwinnett County, Brittany Klein-Peter, 11 Alive News.
Okay. Well. 13 years old, y'all. That's just sad. He called his mom and said, "Happy Valentine's Day." Okay, I just got something. I'm having. the world? Stuff just playing and I can't cut it off. Okay. I'm gonna have to look at this. How long is this? 12 minutes. I'm gonna look at that and review it. Somebody just sent me something. Okay, thank you. All right, y'all. So we're gonna move on to the next story that I want to talk about. Only gonna be here about an hour. And what I have to talk about is for longer than an hour. So Alex Murdaugh was found guilty. And we are going to get more into, the trial and all of the testimony and closing arguments and all of that, but we're just not going to be able to do that tonight because it is so it's so much. Let me see here. Is this it? No, that's not it. Okay. Let's look at this quick video on the section 107. All right, we're just going to look at this real quick like.
Andrew Davis is an investigative reporter for WSAV-TV. He's been covering this case for us from the beginning, and he was in the courtroom when that verdict was read. And Jo Ellen Demetrius is a famed jury consultant who worked with O.J. Simpson's legal dream team, so she knows a lot about juries. Okay, first to you, Andrew Davis, and the reaction in the courtroom, specifically Maggie's family, because up until now it's been very confusing. Everybody seemed to be on Alec Murdaugh's side of the courtroom, his direct family and Maggie's family as well. Give me the essence of how everybody took this verdict.
I'll tell you, it was the quietest room I maybe.
And you know what? That's just the weirdest thing, that even his wife's family was on his side. Did they not? Dang, who do you think took her life? Did they not love the woman? That is crazy. People do the strangest. Families are different, yeah.
Ever been in. I know they locked everybody down and said, don't have any reaction whatsoever. But if you're talking about media people, jury, the entire gallery, both families, you could have heard a pin drop in that room. There was no emotion basically from anyone. A few tears from Lynn. Buster started to tear up, but basically he kept his hand on his cheek the entire time and did not move, and no one said a word. And there did not seem to be any sort of, it seemed like everybody was just locked down because they didn't expect it this quickly. They weren't ready for it. And then when it came down, they were maybe even more shocked that the way it came down, quickly it came down and did exactly what Maggie's family, I believe, wanted them to do.
And was it really cohesive between Maggie's family members and Alec's family members? Did they all seem to have the same vision, and that was that Alec was innocent?
I think it's a mix of that. I don't think Maggie's family will ever tell you for sure that they believed he was innocent. I think they had real questions about it, but they took him on vacation to Somerville. These are people who believed in him so deeply. Now, watching this case and going through it, did that change? I don't know if we'll know until they speak out, but these are people who stood by Alec every step of the way and came with him, let them stay at their house. They were with him and they believed in him this entire time, basically, as far as I can tell, almost right up until this verdict itself.
Jo Ellen, I will just lay a bet that you have seen this kind of thing play out so many times. I'm going to show you some video of the moment that the verdict came down. There was the former Attorney General of South Carolina was in the courtroom sitting right in front of Buster. And he went on television afterwards saying that he witnessed Alec, as he was walking out in cuffs, turn and mouth the words to Buster, "I'm sorry, I love you." That's what the former Attorney General, Charlie Condon, said on television on a local TV channel, just as Dad was getting cuffed and being ready to be taken out. So that's him on just to the left of Buster. That's Attorney General Charlie Condon, former Attorney General of South Carolina. I just have to ask you about your experience. When you get a verdict that's this surprising, this quickly, what's the first thing that goes through your mind, Jo Ellen, with all your jury experience?
Well, my first reaction when I heard there was a verdict coming back was that it was going to be a conviction. And I think the prosecutor did a wonderful job. And I think to really sum up this case, and something he could have said in closing arguments, is this case was about drugs, debt, and deception, very clearly. And this jury understood that. This man had lived this lie for decades. I would suggest And I think this jury was onto him relatively early on. And rather, like they say, the old adage, if an attorney represents himself, he has a fool as a client. When he got on that stand, that was his death warrant. Because he
and I
thought
thought
he
the
was
exact
smart
opposite.
enough.
Joellen, I can't believe you said that. I thought the exact opposite. I thought, man, he's good. I mean, it wasn't just.
Wow. She said when he got on that stand, that was pretty much it. Sort of like with Tim, when Tim Norman took the stand and stood up there and created that entire make-believe story like he was writing an episode for the OWN network, it sealed his fate. Okay.
Just tears. It was stuff coming out of his nose. I mean, it was right. It wasn't an act.
Oh, well, yeah. But if you recall, one of his former partners actually said this guy had theatrical flair in the courtroom when he tried cases. So how much of a stretch is it for somebody who, maybe now he really realizes how much he screwed up? And so maybe some of that emotion and the goop coming out of his nose was real. But the bottom line is this man lived a lie for decades. And this jury, has known about this family forever and ever. And I think they said, we don't want to be looked at as, people who just had the wool pulled over their eyes. And I think as well, just the way he appeared in court with his little glasses on his nose, I think that the aloofness of that came across to these jurors. And I think hopefully we hear some of the commentary. I said from the beginning, this man was going to be convicted.
Yeah, and there wasn't much emotion when the verdict was read, that's for sure. But listen, I'd be stunned too if I'd just been found guilty of 2 murders of my family. Okay, so I have to ask you this, Andrew. A lot of people are talking about all of the different appellate issues that could be raised in this case. Did you hear anything from Dick Harpootlian and the team about, well, it's not the last you've seen of Alex Murdaugh. We have all sorts of stuff that we can deal with on appeal.
I've got sources that absolutely tell me they're planning their appeal already. They believe they got the short end of the stick with the financial crimes coming out, and they're ready to use that as an appellate situation. Also, they feel that Judge Newman may have been biased towards them in some form. I think they're going to try to use all of that. They are far from done in this case. Now, the question would be, Alec ran out of all his money already. So will they go ahead and do this pro bono, or do they feel this is the right thing to do? They absolutely are ready to appeal this as we speak. They're going to go through sentencing, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this done quickly, turned around, looking for an appeal.
Wow. Okay, Joellen, I've got 10 seconds left, but if they do appeal, or if anything happens and the trial results is thrown out and they try him again, how are you going to find anybody who hasn't heard all that financial evidence?
I don't think you could. And then it's just a matter of have they prejudged the case based on that.
You two are brilliant. Joellen, thank you. Andrew Davis, thank you. So insightful. Thank you for.
Okay, so that's that story. Like I say, there was a couple of them. Hold on, guys. Let me see if I can find the next one that I wanted to go over. Yes, here it is. Here's another one from the Georgia, Atlanta area, guys. And this here is a little, this right here is something else. Because
Peachtree City at this hour, 11 Alive just confirming tonight an unexpected connection in 2 different homicide cases, one involving a 15-year-old girl in Peachtree City. And we just learned a suspect arrested in that case is the son of a homicide victim in South Fulton.
Tonight, our team is working hard to investigating the surprising.
And thank you to the subscriber that sent me this. You guys, I get so many news stories emailed to me and inbox to me all day. And I thank y'all so much. Keep sending them.
Hey, now between these 2 cases, 11 Alive's Joe Ripley is live at the Peachtree City Police Department. He's been uncovering new details about this case since it broke yesterday. Joe's joining us now to walk us through all of this new information.
So Peachtree City Police are telling us less than 36 hours about these 3 arrests in 15-year-old Madison Guestwine's death. less than 36 hours after her mother woke up to find her daughter unconscious. We're learning tonight all 3 suspects are just 18 years old. Our 11 Alive investigation now focusing on this suspect tonight, 18-year-old Jacobian Brown. Peachtree City Police just confirmed this afternoon he is under arrest for murder in 15-year-old Madison Guesswine's death, as are 2 other 18-year-olds. A newly released 911 call reveals the nightmare Madison's mom woke up to Tuesday morning when she found her daughter unconscious in her bedroom, bleeding from the head.
I was getting up for work and noticed a light on in my daughter's bedroom. Bedroom door was locked. I came through the bedroom door. Her bedroom window is open. The blinds are a mess.
Peachtree City Police believe Madison was shot in the head. They say Brown and the other teens knew her.
The family obviously, understandably, is very distraught. I don't know how much more I could really comment beyond that, because I really could never do justice to what they must be going through.
Now, in an unexpected twist, Brown's grandmother has confirmed Jacobian is the son of Brian Brown, a South Fulton man who was killed outside a bank earlier this month. When we asked South Fulton police today whether there's any deeper connection between the 2 cases, they would only say Brian Brown's death is still under investigation tonight and no arrests have been made.
Joe, do police have any sort of motive, any reason in Madison's case so far?
Well, I actually asked Peachtree City Police if they had pinpointed a motive in this case. They say while all 3 suspects were familiar, knew Madison, they could not specifically tell me why this killing happened, and they're still trying to figure out each suspect's role in Madison's death. Meantime, coming up tonight at 11, you're going to hear from a friend of Brian Brown, the man killed in South Fulton, about both of these cases, both the South Fulton case as well as this case here in Peachtree City.
All right, Joe, we'll see you tonight at 11 o'clock.
Okay, so real quick, back to Murdaugh real quick. I forgot to say. So they said he's run out of money. So on the appeal, if his attorneys do it, they'll be doing it pro bono. Because he stole a lot of money, Murdaugh. He stole a lot of money. And so his only son that's left, Buster, I think he's he's like an attorney or something too, but it's like all the money is gone. Now, this young lady here that we just watched, that her life was taken, they went through her bedroom window, took her life. One of the suspects, one of the boys, and he's 15, his dad was, where is it? Is this it? His dad lost his life not long ago. And so it's just weird because they're wondering, how does that play? Is it connected some sort of a way? Now I'm trying to find that story. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to find that story because I was like, something's not right.
Power on.
Oh, that powered out. Oh, guys. Hold on. I got so many news stories pulled up here, honey. Plenty of them. Bear with me. Now my computer's acting up. Hold on, guys. Normally I would put some music on, but just hold your horses. I'm coming. All right. Here it is right here. So let's look at this. But his dad lost his life at a Wells Fargo. And then here he is. Now he's been arrested.
Ago, the 3 suspects charged with the murder of a 15-year-old girl in Peachtree City made their first appearances in court. Right now, 3 18-year-olds are charged in the Tuesday murder of Madison Guesswine. We now know one of the suspects, 18-year-old Jacobian Brown, is the son of Brian Brown, who was also killed less than 2 weeks ago in South Fulton. Just last night, 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn spoke to one of Brian's best friends who says he still can't believe this happened.
Never in a million years. Never.
His family and friends know him as Colby.
This is a guy, I've been around him all of his life. His dad's best friend for 25 years, so I watched him grow.
But as of Wednesday, Metro Atlanta knows him as Jacobian Brown, booking number 47479.
This is just so hard to believe.
Jacobian is one of 3 18-year-olds accused of killing 15-year-old Madison Guesswine. Her mom found her dead in her bedroom inside their Peachtree City apartment on Tuesday morning, just 2 days after Alicia George last saw Jacobian.
And nothing seemed out of the ordinary?
Nothing. We were all outside, sitting on the porch, and we were looking forward to getting together this Saturday, the 25th, to have a memorial service here for Brian and Blakely.
Brian's body was found inside his parked car outside this Wells Fargo off Old National Highway in South Fulton. His husband told me in an interview Brian was shot in the neck. Police calling it a homicide.
We're still waiting on answers, hoping and praying somebody can tell us or help us with some type of information. And then for this to happen, it's like you get knocked 10 steps backward.
11 days after Brian was shot and killed, his son is locked up for an unrelated homicide.
Do you guys think that Jacobian could have something to do with his dad's death?
No. And we're honestly praying that there wasn't any connection relating to Brian's death.
And we did just reach out to South Fulton Police in the last few hours. They say they have no updates today on Brian's case. We do know Jacobian lived with Madison Guesswine and her family after his dad put him out for some behavioral issues. We also just confirmed in the last hour that the two other suspects were students at Whitewater High School in Fayetteville, where Madison was also a student. We are staying on top of the story.
So guys, I think she just said that that guy Jacobian lived with the young girl's family, the one that lost her life. So anyway, they may have known each other from school. We have a caller real quick. Hello, caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How you doing? Where are you calling from?
I'm St. Louis side.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got this other phone. How you doing? This is my St. Louis Connect.
Oh, yeah.
What's going
I
on?
called you the other day, honey. I'm just trying to call you, trying to come in on the YouTube and everything else about him. Couldn't get you for nothing in the world. I just start screaming.
Well, Tim has been sentenced, and according to some new information I just got tonight, he won't be leaving there until he's deceased. Then he'll be going to the federal grave site. Have you heard anything any different?
The what?
The federal graveyard where they bury federal inmates at once he's deceased.
What are you going up for?
No, I'm talking about after if he deceases in prison.
Girl, he ain't gonna be deceased too quick.
No,
He gotta go through some torment first.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be there. Well, I mean, I'm just saying they're saying that he's not getting off, no parole, so he will end up eventually losing his life in prison, is what they're saying.
Hopefully he's gonna get life. Remember when I explained on your show about how that goes when they asked if they was gonna charge him with separate charges?
Right. So he got 240 months and then 2 life sentences.
Yeah. He will be there, and his lawyer, you know, if he keeps his lawyer, then he's really stuck on stupid, because it'll just be about money. It won't be because he's coming back home.
Some people were saying that, you know, he would have to, someone left a long comment, I meant to screenshot it, breaking down and saying that he would only do a certain amount of time, but then someone said, no, he got 2 life sentences. And, you know, Miss Michelle Griggs told me that as well. She said no parole, so.
First of all, let me explain something to you. Kim went to the Fed, okay? The Fed do every day of their time. State do 80% of their time.
Oh, but
2 life sentences, plus they gave him some years.
Right.
Judge Ross made doggone sure that Kim would never hit ground again as a free man.
Okay, yeah, he did. So, but they're running consecutively. So, does that mean he's serving 1 life to the 1 life for the both of them? I've got to look it up.
What it does is when you're looking at it, when it says consecutively, those are the years. Okay, he will never hit down again. That is why Judge Ross gave him years along with those 2 life sentences.
It's a lot of time. That's life.
Okay. And did Judge Ross say without the parole?
I was told no parole, so I wasn't in the courtroom, but I was
Then he will
told.
never ever hit down. 25 years is usually 25. I mean, life is usually 25 years. Okay, depending on your how you act in jail and all of that. But whenever a judge sentences you with life with no parole, it does not matter if it's consecutive or any of that. That's exactly what it means. You're going to do life.
Okay, talk up.
When he added those extra years to that life sentence, that means he's got to do life plus those years.
Okay.
So he's not ever going to get down. Now, what's going to try to happen is his lawyer may come back to try to contest his time. Okay? But that is not going to work either. That will be only a ploy by his lawyer to get more money out of his family.
Okay, well, that's your
And
opinion
there
and
was
your.
no mistakes at all made in that in Judge Ross court that Tim can come back and fight and said that he wasn't didn't get proper representation. You know what I'm saying? And just like I told you when it first started, he would have been better with a federal attorney that was paid by the United States than paying all that money to a lawyer out of Chicago. There was no, but see, the reason he had to go to Chicago, wasn't no attorney in St. Louis, Missouri, gonna touch that case. He did something that was definitely a no. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, you know, Tim
And
wrote a long.
any reputable criminal lawyer in Missouri was not going to touch it because they have a reputation to withhold. And they were going to touch it. So that's why he had to go out of state and get a lawyer. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But some lawyers don't care. They'll take any case just for the sensation of the case. You understand what I'm saying?
Now, I think some of his original attorneys were actually from St. Louis, I believe. Like,
yeah, they got off that case. They got off that case, Philly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim
They
included
had
that in
way
his letter.
too much evidence against him. And what people don't understand is this. The reason why we got so much less time than everybody was because Wally is considered a pencil thief. He did not take part in the shooting. He did not take part in the plotting of the murder. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
Okay,
right.
You never said one time, okay, it's gonna get done. Okay, do it like this. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, that is the reason why Wally got less time. The reason Terica got less time was due to her age, due to her letters from her church, okay, due to she had children, due to, I don't know if people know this, that when you go to jail, they do a psychological test on you to see what your IQ is, to see if you suffer from any type of mental illness, bipolarism, schizophrenic, all of that, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so she was definitely took that psych test to let that judge know that her comprehension was not that low. Now, with the young man that got the 38 years, which he should have got life also without parole because he pulled the trigger. The judge sought mercy on him because he was a drug addict and he had been manipulated. But due to Tim being the one to actually orchestrate it, put it together, you understand what I'm saying? Put everybody in line to do certain roles, turn to bring Andre out to the car, and paid the boy the $5,000 or $6,000 to murk him. He was the orchestrator, so that is the reason why he got as much time as he did.
Right.
And Tim is a narcissistic, he's a big liar, and he is very convincing. Look at the women that he dealt with. Janae, the beautiful woman that he dealt with, and her dad was in jail. The young lady that was on Basketball Wives.
Yeah.
But the only one that really saw him for who he was the young lady that was off of Basketball Wives. He tried to warn everybody that he was crazy.
She did try. And I didn't, and you know, I did not believe her. I did not believe that woman. I feel so bad. I say she lying. I did not believe her.
No, but she wasn't. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was telling the truth.
You know, and you know, even Janae on one of the episodes when she goes in and gives her ring back. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She does it all in tears and everything. But Janae knew he was crazy too. That's why she got the hell away from him. She probably thought he was going to murder her. You know, that boy is so complicated, and I would give my last dollar. I bet he even refused his psychological test, and if he didn't, he tried to play on that. You know, who takes a mug shot smiling? Who takes a mug shot smiling when you go into jail?
Tim.
Guilty or not guilty? Who wants to be closed up like an animal? You know, that's just arrogancy and narcissistic.
That he, a lot of people will say that he was, and will forever be.
But you know who I question that I really, really want to know about is his friend that he actually went to jail, was in jail with, that was so close to his family. We ain't heard nothing about that white boy.
White boy Chris.
Other than he wouldn't testify.
Yeah, I have his case. I meant to look it up and see if he had what did they finally sentence him to. Yeah, I don't know. You know, maybe him dropping the dime on Tim. They may have. I don't know. Everybody turned on him in the end. Everybody told on him in the end.
Even the white guy that he was locked up with turned on him also.
Well, Chris, he gave them evidence because he was the one that gave that went to Travell and talked to him on Tim's behalf is what Travell testified to as well.
But we ain't heard nothing about him, his sentence, none of that.
No, but it's out there. I'll put the document. It's out there. It is definitely out there.
Absolutely none of that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, Philly. You know, this case here was a very sensational case. It was something that was not heard of, you know, in a Black community. You know what I'm saying? You know, things like this we hear about mainly in white communities that's dealing with millions of dollars.
No,
you understand what I'm saying?
This can happen anywhere. It looks like anybody, everybody, any and everybody is suspect these days. Trust no one and suspect everyone.
Yeah, honey, and not only that,
don't matter what color you are.
Brought a lot of things to light for the Black community because I truly didn't know you could get nobody a policy on nobody that easy.
Yeah, we went
and
over
them not
that.
even being present. You know what I'm saying? And that
Well,
amount of money.
Well, anything
You
is
know,
anything is possible when you have crooked people and people that's willing to lie and falsify documents. So that goes with anything. You know, people are very crafty and sneaky.
And you know, in St. Louis, as soon as the sentence was over and done with him, they interviewed Miss Griggs outside the courthouse.
We played that over here. She did well.
That is one of the most strongest Black women I have ever had the pleasure of watching.
Yep, she did.
Okay, because she didn't really, you know, it wasn't ghetto like, oh, I'm glad he got sentenced. You know, he got, you know, it was none of that. You know what I'm saying? She still kept her focus on her son, and then her son had finally got justice, and Tim got what he did, what he needed to get. She never dropped a tear. She never, you know, even smiled about it. It was as though that she was sad, not only that she lost her son, but she was also sad that Tim had lost his life as well. And that showed me that she was a genuine woman, and that she was a loving, compassionate woman, and that, you know, that it was unbelievable to her too that he actually took part in that.
Right. Her thing was, you know, she just wanted to know why, and she felt she got life, so he got life, and that's what she wanted. She wanted Tim to get life, so I could say that for sure.
Yeah, I understand that, and she made that clear when she did her interview. But that what she stated was true. When you lose a child, she will suffer to the day God calls her home.
Yep. And I know you can sympathize with that as well. So I know you understand. You know, you feel.
And but one thing that I really loved about this show, and I loved about Miss Griggs, and I loved about Miss Foley, I am so grateful that they came to you and you know, told you about it and agreed to let you do this on your format. You know, it educated a lot of us, and it brought us to a realization of things that are going on. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am. There's a lot
going on. Because with Miss Griggs' beautiful daughter, I really feel in my heart. Now, this might sound crazy to other people feel, but I have totally, that young lady has become a part of my life. Andre was a part of my life before he died. But every time you pop her picture, I just cry.
Yep.
Because I don't understand, you know, a gun owner being that irresponsible. And I truly feel in my heart that that young man knew what the hell he was doing.
Well,
that's why knew that young lady was in her bedroom.
That's why we're waiting on him to get a court date so we can go to court and he have a trial and the truth be put out there. But Gwinnett County is taking their very own sweet time.
I think we all need to start calling again.
That's what we're doing.
Why?
That's what we're doing. The number is in the chat. We're waiting on. That's what yes, Miss Foley wants us to call daily. The same way Mrs. Briggs did.
You know, that young lady is beautiful, man. She's beautiful, just as her mother is. Miss Foley's picture that comes up on television, she's a pretty woman. But you can tell that this young lady had a beautiful soul. You know what I'm saying? That had dreams that she was going after. That little rascal you got up in there, and you know what I'm talking about. You know, if he don't look evil by his eyes and look all, that man was liking that girl, and I'll never take that back.
Well,
that girl rejected him.
Somebody else has said, I had heard that before. I mean, but that's why we need to have the trial date set and him go to court so everything can be put out there and he can have his day in court and, hey, let the jury of his peers decide. That's what we need.
Tell me, when I was a child, I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
There was a woman, and every day she was married. Every day she would get off her bus. And every day this man would try to talk to her, but she would keep on walking. Okay? This man got mad at her, cut her screen one night in her living room, came through the house, and cut her throat in the bed with her husband.
Oh, Lord.
She woke up feeling that something was burning on her neck. And when she woke up and looked up, he was standing over her with a razor. She screamed. Her husband jumped up. He ran out the front door and knocked her brother down at 2 o'clock in the morning that was coming in the house. He kept coming around. I truly believe that that young man was rejected by that beautiful girl because that girl probably didn't show him no type of interest. You know how you live in an apartment complex and a guy trying to speak to you or something? Okay, you know, and I'll be right next door to one of them crazy ninjas. And he, every time my husband would go to work, he would leave. He would come knocking on my door, messing with me about anything. You hear me? And I told my husband, he had 6 pit bulls. He let all 6 of them pit bulls out on my son one night at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, Lord.
I heard my baby out there just screaming, "Mama, Mama." So I told my husband, I said, "Honey, we got to move." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because Mark is crazy." Okay? Come home one day, became a skinhead. He killed the man right after I moved 3 months later. Put the man down on his knees and shot him in the head. He got 7 years. God knows I'm not lying. Something was wrong with that man. That man had some type of liking on that girl, and that girl rejected him, and he took her life for it. Almost like, how dare you?
Well, that's why we need him to go to trial. We need a court date. We need a trial date. We need him to stand trial and let the evidence come out and let the jury decide. That's what we need to happen.
And that is so true. That is so true. And he cannot get away with it.
Nope. Nope, he will not.
You know?
If in fact, that's the way it is, hey. But he deserves his day in court. He deserves his day in court. I just don't understand why Gwinnett County have not given him a court date. It's been long enough. That's why we need to call. The number is pinned in the chat. The number is pinned. Take that number down, everybody, and call them Monday. Call them Monday morning. Okay? Justice for Carlether. Well, St. Louis Connect, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you for calling the show, giving us your insight on on Tim and the other topics that we discussed. I do appreciate you. Is there anything else you want to say?
We appreciate you, Miss CP.
Thank you.
And every story that you put up. But honey, when all of this is over, your phone really gonna be blowing up, honey, because things is going on so crazy in America. It don't make no sense. They had a little black woman down there in Texas that the doggone people at the store locked her in the store and put in a chokehold.
Did you send me that? Somebody sent me that the woman found $50 on the floor. I've got to find that. She found $50.
Yeah, found $50 on the store, on the floor. They gonna try to make her give it to them. She has said, "I'll give it to the manager, the owner, but I'm not giving it to y'all." They locked her in the store, honey, and they put her in a chokehold. The lady that fought cancer and everything else. Then when the granddaughter gets there, police lock her up, but don't lock up the store clerks that put this old lady in the chokehold.
Sound like another lawsuit to me. Ben Crump to the rescue.
Yeah, we hope Ben Trump get on it, but you know, some cases he don't get on. He so busy, he get on the real big ones.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, he ain't but one person.
Right. He has a lot going on. He does have a lot going on. He's the new Johnny Cochran.
Some lawyers don't pick it up. And then, Kelly, they had learned to offer the woman the compensation $50.
I guess they say that's what it was all about. These people are crazy. It's just crazy the way they do things.
All right, Kelly, I'm going to let you go. You know I'm a tomboy, so I got to get ready to get to the fishing, mate.
Okay, go fishing, girl. You and your husband have a good time.
Oh, he ain't going. That's me and my brother.
Oh, you and your brother. Okay, well, tell him I said hi, and you guys have fun. Catch a lot of fish.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye. That was my St. Louis Connect, guys. Okay. All right. I had one other thing that I want to start. It's we probably won't finish it, but let me see here. Where is it? Okay. It's Ben Crump doing a press conference on Shanquella. Okay.
Good morning. Is everyone ready? Thank you for your patience. Obviously, this has been a long journey thus far to getting justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson.
Justice for Shanquella Robinson.
I'm attorney Ben Crump, along with my law partner, attorney Sue Ann Robinson. We have the honor of being joined by the queen of the movement, Tamika Mallory, and Until Freedom with Professor Angelo Pina and my son, the General. We are so grateful that Until Freedom never stopped fighting for Miss Robinson, never. Even when everybody seemed to sweep it under the rug, they stayed the course. Also, we have present with us the NAACP president here in Washington, Akusa, and we have Mario Black from Million Youth March of Charlotte, North Carolina, where Shanquella Robinson hailed from. But most importantly, we have present with us her sister, Quila Long, and her mother, Miss Robinson. You can only imagine what she has endured in these 18 weeks. You can only imagine. And so she's not alone. We're standing with her, and we will never, ever leave her pursuit for justice, because Shanquella Robinson life matters.
That's right.
And so let's give you just a little background of what got us here today. And I'm so grateful to Attorney Robinson for going above and beyond for justice, Roland Martin. I mean, my law partner did things that make her heroic, not just as a lawyer, but as a strong Black woman who sees the humanity. And
I want to say that Attorney Ben Crump, he has so many names to remember of so many clients and victims and family members. He does a good job. He does a good job.
Shanquella Robinson as possibly somebody who could be her own flesh and blood. That's what humanity requires. So thank you, Attorney Sue Ann Robinson, from the bottom of my heart. Shanquella, as we know, was 25 years old. She was from Charlotte, North Carolina. Her date of death is October 29, 2022. She was reported dead on October 29th. Her mom, Miss Robinson, is here. I told you her sister, Quilla Long, is here. It's important to know that Shanquella Robinson graduated from Winston-Salem Winston-Salem State University, a great historically black college and university in North Carolina. She was a hairstylist. She owned a clothing boutique. She worked for an insurance agency. And as Tamika Mallory and I just marveled at how wonderful of a person she was, she also braided little black girls' hair. That was her profession. That's what she did every day, all day. And obviously, she was an influencer on social media. It has been 126 days since she died. That's 18 weeks. Video footage of her being beaten literally to death was released on November 16, 2022, 108 days ago. 15 weeks and 3 days, and still, with all this visual evidence,
Come on, Ben.
nobody has been arrested.
That's right. That's right.
Nobody has been arrested. And as my son, the general, always talks about, Black lives matter, our black children lives matter. And people always try to say, well, you all don't show up when black people get killed by other black people. You only show up if a white police officer get killing a black person. No, that's not it. Oftentimes we can't get the media to cover it, but my son, Until Freedom, our law firm, we have been showing up when black people get killed unjustly, whether it's a white person who killed them or it's a black person who killed them. Because Shanquella Robinson, life matters.
That's right.
Shanquella Robinson, life matters. 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 In the video, a woman who was identified by witness as Dajanay Jackson is seen brutally beating Shanquella Robinson while she is stark naked. I argue it's just as bad to Tamika Mallory or worse than how they beat Tyree Nichols to death. I mean, you look at those videos, they are both horrific, inhumane. The travel mates who went to Mexico with her, I mean, you're talking about adding insult to injury. Sabina, the travel mates returned from Mexico to the United States and told Miss Robinson she died of alcohol poisoning. They failed to mention the fight or what we saw in that video, Roland Martin, that Shanquella Robinson had a head injury, that she was attacked, that they were joking about it, texting about what happened in the aftermath of the tragedy. But they never mentioned that to Miss Robinson. We are asking for high level of diplomatic intervention from the President of the United States and the State Department to do what is necessary to bring the person or the people who are responsible for the murder of Shanquella Robinson to justice. Let me repeat that again. We are asking for high-level intervention, diplomatic intervention from the President of the United States and the State Department to do whatever is necessary to bring justice to Shanquella Robinson by the person or the persons responsible for her death. It's not a hard act. When you look at that video, it is not a hard act. And when you think about when white women go missing, it's not a hard act. My colleagues will get more into that later. Now, the family retained us, and my law partner, Sue Ann Robinson, as I said, she went above and beyond. The family asked her, and she went on a fact-finding mission to Mexico on their behalf after being advised by us that the Mexican authorities were not doing their job. That's what the U.S. said. The Mexican authorities were not doing their job in regards to investigating this crime. And so, you know, for black people to get justice often in America and certainly abroad, we have to go above and beyond. And Sue Ann Robinson went above and beyond. I mean, this sister, she went down to Mexico for a week. I mean, had threats to her safety. She's a mother of two beautiful little girls, but she saw that she could not justify staying safe and playing it safe while Miss Robinson's daughter had been killed. So Sue Ann Robinson deserves all the credit in the world for going down there and getting the evidence necessary for us to come here today and to say to the department that it is clear Mexico has advised that their investigation is complete. They have identified a suspect. That suspect is currently out free in the United States of America, and that is not right that the suspects and the people involved are sleeping comfortably in their own beds at night. If they are guilty of a crime, then the United States government should do one or two things. One, they should either extradite the person who murdered Shanquella Robinson to Mexico to face the charges and the crimes that have been alleged against her. Or two, they should take jurisdiction. Mexico is willing to give jurisdiction to the United States
Give it to
to bring a case for those responsible for killing Shanquella Robinson to justice. And the only question is, State Department, President Biden, what are you going to do to bring justice for this broken-hearted family, especially this mother of Shanquella Robinson? It's not a hard act. Either extradite the killer or take jurisdiction so you can prosecute the killer. That's right. It's simple. And so my co-counsel is going to go into details with you, and then you're going to hear a couple of people, especially my sister Tamika Mallory, who is going to make the case even more plain, because we can't have different justice systems depending on the ethnicity of the victim. We can't have one set of justice for white women and another set of justice for black women. We got to have one justice system for the United States of America. And so that's why Attorney Robinson deserves just so much credit for going to get the evidence that is necessary for us to now make the case for justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Now you're going to hear from my partner, Attorney Sue Ann Robinson. Y'all give her a big round of applause. This sister here, I'm so proud to work with her.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I want to first and publicly, which I do every day, thank Mrs. Robinson and, Quilla, for putting their shoulder to the plow to seek justice on behalf of Shanquella Robinson. I'm thanking them for doing something that so often only Black and brown families have to do. They have to grieve their loved one. They have to adjust to normalize their life with the loss of their loved one. And at the same time, they have to become part of a movement, part of a club that no one asked to be in. they have to beg for dignity and respect in death. They have to seek justice on behalf of their loved ones. They don't have the privacy to grieve and do those things in private. So I want to thank them publicly for turning their pain into purpose. And
thank you, guys. Please make sure y'all hit the like button. Again, this is a news conference with Ben Crump and the family of Shanquella Robinson. Remember, she went on a vacation with friends. Everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't your partner. They beat her and then lied to her family about what happened.
for giving me the honor of assisting in their case. We've been doing this for a very long time. Black women have been having to come to the front lines against oppression because of our intersectionality. We're Black and we're females. And so based on that alone, we have a unique set of oppressions we have to deal with and fight against since Mamie Till. And I cannot, I stand today on her shoulders, on the shoulders of all the Black women who have to grieve publicly in order to push the most important work of our time forward, which is that we would receive equal treatment, that we would also receive equal justice under the laws of the country that we're born in. Shanquella was a beautiful, adventurous entrepreneur. Unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity to know her in life. But getting to know her in death has changed my life. And no one should have to suffer the indignities that she did. We deserve to live peaceful lives, enjoy vacations, and die old, peaceful deaths. Being on the ground in Mexico on a fact-finding mission was surreal. I'm an attorney. I went to law school. I know what the laws are. I know I'm a former prosecutor. I know what the Department of Justice can do if someone flees from justice. So for me, on behalf of this family, to have to physically go and seek justice on their behalf was unreal. In another country, with another language. Going to those places, going to the police station, going to the Attorney General's office, going to the Mexican Red Cross, going to the office of the doctor that attended to her, going to the actual villa and the places where she walked, where she spent her last moments, trying to find answers for this family was absolutely unreal. Nobody should have to do that for something that is equal and fair. They're not asking for anything special. They're not asking for anything unique. They're asking for their government to intervene in a case and take jurisdiction for a crime that we all saw unfold on video.
That's correct. My Lord.
The most important thing from the case going to Mexico, I learned two things. One, that Quilla and Mrs. Robinson are creating their own path to find justice in an international case because there isn't a path to get information, to find out what's happening on your case, to find out what happened to your loved one. There is no such path. They are creating the path. And number two, most importantly, because they were being ping-ponged between the U.S. authorities and Mexican authorities. They got sick of it. No one was returning their phone calls. Mexican authorities confirmed that they have completed their investigation. We've had the opportunity to review some of the packet, and it has been sent. The ball is clearly in the United States court. The State Department, the Department of Justice, the ball is in your court. Do what you have to do. In Mexico, we went to the U.S. consulate, who is supposed to be the liaison and the protection for American citizens abroad. We got no such warm greeting. We got no such constitutional rights. We got no such assistance liaison information. In fact, we were almost impeded and advised that if the family needed more information, they should talk to the 6 travel mates that went to Cabo with Shanquella.
Outrageous. Who was the accessories to the murder.
Outrageous.
The level of disrespect.
Now, how they gonna talk to the 6 people who the girl paid for their? You know what? Come on, can we get some justice for Shanquella around here? Come on, Joe Biden, y'all can do something. Extradite them suckers over there, or either take full control. Mexico has said that they are willing to give jurisdiction of the case to the U.S. Now get it together.
To Shanquella Robinson's dignity, even in death, is unreal. We had to go ourselves to the Attorney General, explain to them, hey, we're not just trying to show up here. We tried to follow the protocol, but we're not going to leave without any information. And we were assisted by the Mexican authorities who advised the ball is in your court. We've sent everything over to Interpol. We sent everything over to the FBI. They advised that the case is a top priority for them. I haven't been advised of that by the State Department here at all. Have you guys been told that? Okay. The issue now is that there has to be a high level of diplomatic intervention. And I say high level to be tongue in cheek because, to be honest, the highest level is right here. That's why we're here. President Biden, the head of the Department of Justice, the State Department, you've all got calls from our office. And no answers. You've got letters. Let's do what's right by Shanquella Robinson, and let's always do what's right by Black women. I work every single day in what I call the most important work of our time, because I would like this job to become obsolete. I would like to have to stop coming before the press and begging for dignity and respect on behalf of my Black clients. Put us out of business, please. President Biden, Department of Justice, State Department, International Affairs, it's on y'all.
That's right.
And we're waiting right here until justice is served for this family. Thank you.
Great. Right. Great.
Thank you so much, Attorney Sue Ann Robinson. And it should not be that our office has to step in and try to do the work for the United States Department of Justice or the State Department itself. So heartfelt. I can only imagine you being in the villa after seeing that video. And again, like Attorney Robinson said, Tamika Mallory and Sue Ann Robinson, there have been strong Black women leading this effort. And I think that's important. We have to step up for our people. If nobody else will step up for us, we got to step up for our people. And so my sign is never lost on me that they try to say we only show up and show out when it's white people who kill us. No, when anybody kills us unjustly, we stand up for justice. And so the President of the United States, the State Department, the Justice Department has to do those two things. Either they're going to extradite the killer of Shanquella Robinson, or they're going to take jurisdiction. It is that simple. And we won't take one day off of demanding our allies at the White House or anywhere else that we stand up for Black people getting justice, even if it's inconvenient for you.
That's right.
Even if you think it's a nuisance for you. Well, we don't think Shanquella Robinson was a nuisance. We don't think that she was insignificant. We don't think that she was irrelevant, and we don't think that she was inferior. She was a strong, brilliant Black woman, the best that we had to offer the world. And that's why we're going to continue to fight for justice for Shanquella Robinson. And we're so happy that we have all type of organizations, civil rights organizations, standing on the front line with us. I have the honor of having President Kuswa Ali of the Washington chapter of the NAACP come and present to you in this fight for justice. President Ali, thank you for your leadership.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning, good morning. Again, my name is Akoshua Ali. I am the president of the NAACP Washington, D.C. branch, and I first want to extend our condolences to the family for your loss, and then also thank and commend Attorney Benjamin Crump and his amazing team, and my sister, Tamika Mallory, both of who have been iconic civil rights leaders continuing to champion this fight for racial equality and justice. As we stand at the beginning of Women's History Month, it is appalling that we have to lift up not only the mantra that Black lives matter, but Black women matter. And in this country, we cannot continue to allow the double standard of how Black women are victimized and are undervalued compared to how white women who have also been victimized and murdered, but are championed and glorified by the media, and their lives are valued more. If this country is truly to embody what it stands for, what our ancestors lived for, what our ancestors bled and died for, we have to represent that in all aspects of our systems, our criminal justice systems, our law, and international and diplomatic relations. So I charge you all, as we stand on the shoulders of not only Black women, but all people who have fought for social justice and equality in this country, to use your voice, stand in your power, and demand justice for Shanquella Robinson.
Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Thank you so much, President Ali, for your great leadership. Next, we are going to have a woman who really, in all regards, represents the queen of the social justice movement taking place in America today. We grew up together fighting for Trayvon Martin and everybody in between, and now we land here at Justice for Shanquella Robinson. She is the epitome of Black women leadership in America today as we stand in front of the National Council of Negro Women. And her and Sue Ann Robinson, y'all know, sometimes I get a little busy, but these sisters, they will not ever let us forget that all our Black people life matter, and we can never forget that Black women matter even more when we think about how disrespected and neglected they have been in history. And so the person who continue to remind us we're going to fight just as hard for our sisters as we fight for our brothers on a daily basis here in the United States and abroad is none other than Until Freedom co-founder, my sister, the queen of the movement, Tamika Mallory.
Good morning. First of all, let me just say thank you all so much for showing up today. This family needs support. It is all too often that when Black women are harmed, people don't show up. We fight against that. It is a struggle that we deal with in this movement often, that we cannot find people to stand solid and to continue to show up months and months and months later as these situations unfold. So I want to thank those who drove up from North Carolina. Yes. I want to thank all of you who've come out today to be here and to be present for Shanquella Robinson's family. I also want to thank my co-founders of Until Freedom, Attorney Angelo Pinto, my son Lennon and Linda Sarsour, for taking my leadership, which oftentimes I come to them with a lot of crazy things, and they listen and they back me up and they support me. And if I say this is an issue that we need to get involved with, we do it for all of us. We do it for one another. But specifically, I want to say, as a Black woman in this organization, that I appreciate that they take it seriously to stand up for justice for Black women. I truly do take it as it is on my behalf. You know, this is not a difficult thing to understand, as Attorney Crump has said. It is not complicated.
That's right.
There was a woman, forget about being a Black woman. A woman was beaten to death on camera. And she returned from a vacation with her neck and back, her spine broken.
Outrageous.
It's very simple. We saw an attack.
Yes.
It'd be one thing if you did not see a video, and perhaps we could come up with some other explanation for what happened to her. But in this case, what we see is very clear. She was beaten to death.
That's right.
And if she wasn't beaten to death, somebody needs to tell us exactly what happened.
Come on, tell us.
And there are 6 people who were there who know the answers, and they need to be present somewhere where they are being asked and demanded of the truth.
Say that.
Particularly the person who we saw. And I want to correct something that has been said, and I am asking every single person from the media to be careful about the narrative.
Come on.
I know that my brother Roland Martin will be careful about this, and I'm asking all of you. There was not a fight.
Come on.
There was no fight that took place in that house. There was an attack against one person. We did not see a fight. In fact, we hear the other individuals on the video asking her whether or not she was willing to fight back for herself, as they joked while she was naked. And she tells them clearly, no, she does not want to fight. And they continue to allow her to be beaten, and then her neck and spine was broken, and she returned home to her family in a box. That is what happened.
Come on.
It is not complicated.
Come on.
So as my sister, Sunshine Anderson from Charlotte, North Carolina, who couldn't be here but has been a great supporter of this family, would say, when you tell us it's complicated and there's issues, we've heard it all before. And we don't want to hear it anymore. We want to see that there is movement, action, that something happens for Shanquella Robinson. Forget about her being a Black woman. She is a woman, and she is a United States citizen. And we know what you can do.
Say that.
We know what you can do.
Say that.
Let me tell you why we know what you can do. Because we've seen you do it before.
That's right.
When Natalie Holloway went missing in Aruba, America stopped. It stood still. Even I stood still.
Come on.
We shared the information. When the White House had press conferences, they were asked questions about her. The media would not let it die.
Come on now.
Natalie Holloway was in our homes every day, and she should have been. And so should Shanquella Robinson.
Say that.
And so should Shanquella Robinson.
That's right.
I want to thank my dear sister, Rabbi Bara Elman. Come on over here, Bara Elman. The rabbi has come down to show that this is not just about Black women.
Come on
this
now.
is about all women.
Come on.
And that we must all stand together in saying that enough is enough
That's right.
of this country disrespecting our people and disrespecting humanity. The question that I have for President Biden, for Merrick Garland, the head of Department of Justice, the question that I have for the head of the United States State Department, what would you do if it was your child?
Come on now.
What would you want to see happen in this country if it was your child who was beaten to death on camera without clothes? Imagine that her family had to watch a video of their baby, their sister, being beat to death with no clothes on and no support. What would you want President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris?
Come on now.
What would you want as a Black woman if you saw your sister being beaten like that? How would you move? What calls would you make? What would you expect in terms of the answers that this family has not been provided? They have been told that there's no information that can be given to them, but that they will get a call back. No family wants to hear that. They should be invited on a regular basis to conversations where it is clear what this country is doing. Now, some will say, I'm sure, when they start with their narrative, they are going, I see it's raining and we're going to be quick. They will say that they're doing a lot. But the problem is that this country does not have a good reputation of protecting Black women. And so therefore, we cannot take your word for it. We want to see it with our eyes and hear it with our ears. We want the same attention that other white women have received. And in fact, we are calling it the white women missing treatment. We want to see that put in action for Shanquella Robinson. Move expeditiously. Use your resources and be intentional about justice for this young sister. Because as you know, we will not go away. We didn't leave Breonna Taylor's family, and we will not leave Shanquella Robinson's family.
Amen. Thank you, Tamika. Thank you. And we know it's starting to rain, so we're going to move expeditiously. Let's get an umbrella over mom and sister head. And we're going to have quickly Mario Black come and present from Charlotte, North Carolina. Been fighting on the front line. Black Millions Youth March of Charlotte and Salisbury. Mario Black.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mario Black, founder of Million Youth March of Charlotte and Salisbury, an organization birthed in Charlotte. Stand with families during their times. I made a vow in December when we had the official rally at Little Rock AME Zion Church. Pastor Dwayne Walker and Lady Walker opened their doors for us to have the rally. I made a vow to this family that day that I would stand with them that day until moving forward. December, we had the rally. January, we celebrated her birthday, 26th birthday. 2 weeks ago, we mailed letters to Washington, D.C. We mailed letters to Mexico, 1,000 pink envelopes to Washington and to Mexico, demanding justice for Shanquella Robinson. We want justice. President Obama, Vice President Kamala Harris, let's make it happen.
He said Obama.
This is what this family needs. This is what this family wants. And when I was reached out to 2 days ago about being here today, I said, absolutely. So I thank you, Tamika, my sister, Tamika Mallory. We're getting to know each other, love her to death, love her mission. To my brother, Ben Crump, thank you for everything that you do. No justice, no peace. Arrest the Cabo Six. Say what? No justice, no peace.
Arrest the Cabo Six. No justice, no peace. Arrest the Cabo Six. Thank you so much, Mario Black, for your great leadership. And now we're going to hear from Miss Robinson, the mother of Shanquella Robinson. And then as we bow, my attorney Robinson, attorney Paige White, Monique Press, everybody on our legal team, we're going to go and present the evidence to the Department of Justice, and we're going to demand justice for Shanquella Robinson. It's that simple. And so please give your attention to the mother of Shanquella Robinson as she bears her soul to you.
My name is Salamandra Robinson. I am the mother of Shanquella Robinson. I am here in Washington, D.C. today asking for answers about what happened for my daughter. I don't wish the terrible nightmare on anyone. My daughter was brutally beaten on a video. She was undressed, and there was many people that could have helped her. They laughed and joked instead. Shanquella came back from a vacation dead with a broke neck and a spinal. I can hardly talk about it. Since November the 16th, no one has been arrested. The people who knew what happened to my daughter are living their lives. They have returned to work, and my family is left to wait and to beg for answers. I am here as an American citizen to ask our president and everyone with the power to get justice for my daughter to help me. Please help me and my family.
And we will help you, Miss Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson.
Justice for Shanquella Robinson.
Justice for Shanquella Robinson.
Justice for Shanquella Robinson.
Thank you. And now we're going to hear from her sister, Quilla Long, the sister of Shanquella Robinson.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The death of my beautiful sister has been the hardest thing that I've ever had to deal with in my life. I have dealt with death of a loved one in my family, but my sister's death is a different type of love. My mind have not been at ease. I have not been able to rest since October the 29th of 2022. I got the call of her death. I also was told lies about her death, and I witnessed, among others of the world, of a video of her death. This journey has been frustrating. The feeling of disheartened to our government. I feel like our government has failed us. Now we got to take extra steps and measurements as far as rallies, as far as press conferences, mailing letters that I feel like we should not have to do. It's been 5 months and something should have been done. My sister was the sweetest person, lovable, business driven, and respectful. She didn't associate herself with drama. Okay, so I feel like whatever happened or the situation that took place at that villa, she was trying to leave and they wasn't trying to let her go.
Okay.
My Lord. Thank you, Quilla.
On this journey, we just try to stand together and try to protect her as much as we can and fight for her because she's no longer here. She needed help then and she needs help now.
Amen. Thank you, Quilla. No peace.
No peace.
If anybody
No peace, arrest,
lose focus of why we standing out here in the rain, and they say it may not be the most ideal time to stand and do the press conference, I just think this rain are the tears of this mother and this family, and we'll stand with them in the rain, the sleet, or the snow until we get justice. And that's why we're going to go meet with the Department of Justice, and we're going to tell them they have the evidence. They had the evidence on day one when we saw the video. But now Attorney Robinson and us are going to tell them we got autopsies, we got witness statements, we got the Mexican government said they have already made the decision who killed her.
I know Mr. Crump is busy. We've tried. We're going to have to try again. If we could get him to do I'm going to be playing a news conference like this, and it's going to be on Carlether Foley. Watch. I'm claiming it, and it will happen. Okay, y'all just stay tuned. Okay, stay tuned.
And the only question is the President Biden and the State Department going to do anything about it? It's that simple.
Welcome, everybody.
And we won't sleep until they do something about it.
Get us in the algorithm. Thank you.
Okay. We're going to have John Barnett make some brief remarks. Then we're going to take a few of your questions. John Barnett. And what's your title?
Oh, yeah, in time.
National Civil Rights Activist John Burnett from Charlotte, North Carolina. Came all the way to be here.
And thank you, Attorney Crump, for being a strong male voice in our community.
Good evening,
thank you, Sister Tamika, being a strong female voice in our community. It was 1961. Malcolm X was speaking to an audience. And he said this, and this is the epitome of my sister, Shanquella Robinson. He said, the black woman is the most admired woman in the world, but yet the most disrespected. So I wonder if Shanquella Robinson's name, I wonder if her name was Britney Spears. I wonder if her name was Barbara Streisand or Madonna, Jennifer Aniston. Can I keep going? I wonder if she had those names, would we have justice by now? Now, an old wise man told me, he said, Reverend Sharpton was told me, he said that James Brown told him you got to be loud and dramatic. So we sent some pink envelopes. Sent some pink envelopes to Mexico. We sent some pink envelopes to Joe Biden's office. I know he's seen those pink envelopes. I know he's seen them. It's hard to fight that color pink. So I'm asking him to do one thing. President of the United States, and all of those individuals around you, including our sister Kamala Harris, I would ask that you step up as well, my sister, and give us some justice for Shanquella Robinson. We drove here from Charlotte, and we'll drive again tomorrow, and we'll come back next week. Because I do know that the Montgomery bus boycott was not just 3 days, y'all. It wasn't just 3 months. It was a whole year. So what happens is when you bring all this energy together, this energy, the strong man beside me and this sister behind me and all of these brothers and activists that came here today, this energy is going to come together. And we're going to start boiling. And we're going to keep getting on your nerves until you give us justice. Can the church say amen?
Amen.
I said, can the church say amen?
Amen.
So I'm going to close it out. Final words. I'm going to say this. I want y'all to repeat after me. If we don't stop, we will win.
We will win.
If we don't stop.
If we don't stop,
we will win.
We will win.
If we don't stop.
Great.
We will win.
We will win.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Burnett. Thank you for your leadership and stand on this journey for how many days, Sue-Ann?
A win. Justice for Carlether.
125 days.
Sometimes
And we still haven't gotten justice. So we're going to take some of your questions, but
sometimes you may not have but 1 or 2 people in your life watching you and you're starting out to do something. You got to keep going. Okay? If you don't stop, you will win. Okay? And I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Justice, justice, justice. All right. Come on, being Crump.
I think Tamika said it best. Same thing we did for Natalie Holloway, Gabby Patina, every other white woman who went missing, where we stopped everything in America until we gave them the dignity and respect they deserve. Well, we're going to stop America to get justice for Shanquella Robinson. And with that, we'll take some of your questions if you have any.
Just like, of course, you look at Ms. Bland. She was killed in Texas. She died in Texas. Have y'all worked to mobilize sororities, links, other Black female organizations to also put pressure on the State Department and the White House to bring all that pressure to bear as well? Those, what, 500 to 800 to 1 million Black women?
I'll say this and then I'll have Tamika Mallory speak to it. Roland, it's not lost on us and hopefully on anybody else that we're standing in front of the National Council of Negro Women, the oldest organization of Black women civil rights leaders. And so Tamika Mallory, who is a great...
Yes, look. Hold on a second.
Woman leader of this day will speak to that issue, but we understand that question completely.
Yeah, so we, up until this point, this family has been very respectful of the federal government. I'm sorry. Up until this point, that the family, and still at this point, the family has been very respectful of the federal government. They were told that something was going to be done. And so for the last several months, they have waited, believing that there was no way with the video that this would be stalled. At this point, after Attorney Sue-Ann Robinson returned with the documents and the information and the research that she did there in Mexico, we can clearly state and begin to organize people around the idea that this is not a Mexico problem. This is now a United States problem. So yes, we will begin that process. Today begins, is the beginning of a campaign that should include all of our organizations, whether they be from the women to the men to whomever it is, and not just Black folks, but everybody in this country standing for Shanquella Robinson.
And then Attorney Robinson will say a brief word about that as well.
Well, to answer your question, Roland, I'm standing next to an AKA, and I'm a very proud Delta. So we're very much in the building, and we'll take help everywhere we can get it, because pressure is what is going to cause this case to be moved forward. So we welcome all the Divine Nine and every organization that will assist us in this matter.
And I think what Mr. Martin is saying, maybe we should be formal about it. We are going to write letters to the leadership of not just Black women organizations, but all Black organizations and all people of good moral character. So thank you, Roland Martin. Any other questions?
Have you had conversations with the State Department yet? The conversations with the State Department, specifically the international affairs, was that they have no information. They will not give information. That we could contact the American Citizenship Department, but they also will not have any information. So we haven't been met with any assistance on this side. That's why we're here.
Are you having
Yeah.
meetings this week with the Justice Department?
I've already put in a call, and I've already it's started now. One of the things that my partner and our queen Tamika Mallory put a little pressure on, and it's fine. The same attention we go out and get when black men are unjustly killed, whether it's Tyree Nichols or George Floyd. Crump, you need to make sure we're doing the same thing for black women. And so whatever influence we got with the White House, they ain't gonna let me not use it for Shanquella Robinson. And so we're gonna be talking about Tyree and the George Floyd bill, but we're gonna be talking about Shanquella Robinson too. And that we plan on going to meet with them and give them the information, and we're gonna get that to them today.
To the White House today.
To the Justice Department today. The State Department will get the information today. We don't want to give them any excuse why not to do one or two things. And I'm sure Until Freedom are going to help us with a petition on this. One or two things we're asking for. Either extradite the killer and those who aided and abetted back to Mexico, or take jurisdiction of the matter. They got the power to do it. So they just got to act.
And Ms. Robinson wrote a letter earlier this week, and the letter has been sent to the President of the United States, the Vice President, the State Department, who else is on the letter, and Department of Justice. Right.
Yeah, and I get it. I know it's a lot of things going on in the world, and I know they're busy, but they can.
Thank you. And I want to say we've had 100 people in here tonight. That's good on a Saturday night, and it's not the Tim Norman story that we're just talking about. So I appreciate it. If we do not stop, we will win. And I don't care if I don't have but 2 people in here. It could be 0. Watch the replay. I'm going to keep on talking like it's 1,000 in here, okay? All right? If I don't stop, I will win. Y'all heard the man?
Appoint somebody in the State Department to deal with this matter. They certainly did it with Natalie Holloway.
That's right.
Okay.
When exactly did Mexican officials announce that the case was closed now for the U.S. officials?
It's not closed, right?
Well, it's not closed.
Well, their case has been submitted, and that was confirmed on the trip. That was the week of February 13th when I went to
that they submitted it to the U.S. State Department.
No, I have not seen the arrest warrant, but I have seen all of the investigative documents.
Yeah. Any other questions before we go? We're gonna take 2.
4 months already, and you mentioned like getting the president involved, getting Vice President Kamala Harris involved. What is the timeline? Should this be happening in like a week, a month?
Justice delayed is justice denied. It's been 125 days. If you got evidence on video of a crime, you know, y'all gonna make me go back a little bit to my mantra when it was 5 black police officers who killed Tyree Nichols. 20 days, terminated, arrested, and charged. Because you have video of a crime that you can see. It should be no different when it's anybody who commit a crime on video. You go arrest them. You charge them based on the evidence you see on video. You ain't got to speculate. You ain't got to wonder. I mean, she beat her literally to death. Literally.
Say it, Ben.
Literally. And so what more evidence do we have to give you, America? State Department, what more evidence do we have to give you? Justice for Shanquella Robinson now. Okay.
Big boot.
Yes. Yes.
Is the family going after any other parties?
We want to make sure all of the individuals who had anything to do with the murder of Shanquella Robinson be held accountable. And we'll keep you all updated. Press at bencrump.com. We will keep you updated. The name?
Dejanay Jackson.
Oh, she got it. All right, I got it. I got it. Hold on.
They're available online.
Yeah, and if you reach out to press@bencrump.com, we'll try to get it to
Right.
you.
No, but if you Google, all 6 names are very clearly there.
Okay.
It's there. It's there.
Okay.
It's very clear. Their pictures and everything are there. Yeah.
Where's her name at? Okay.
She has the names here.
It's Dejanay Jackson. D as in David, EJHANE Jackson. Common spelling. And you see her on video. What Tamika said and what Sue Ann Robinson said. You see the video. You have audio. I mean, you hear her say she won't fight back.
I just want to make clear that obviously the criminal justice systems are different between Mexico and the United States. So the person who's been identified by the Mexican authorities and has been identified in the video is Dejanay Jackson. So it'll remain to be seen when she's brought to justice how that will occur. The other individuals, the travel mates of Shanquella Robinson, are Winter Donovan, Nazir Wiggins, Elise Hyatt, Malik Dyer, and Khalil Cook. Those are the people who traveled with her to Mexico.
Justice for Shanquella Robinson.
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 Thank you, Sabina. Thank you, everybody. We'll keep you all updated.
You just don't understand. I'm retired military, and I've never in my life seen no crap like this.
Well, thank you,
But
sister.
I'm also here because I'm a sister and I'm alive.
Amen.
And Michael Jordan has been on my list. I have also
Thank
been
you.
suffering because of what he has done.
Okay. So y'all, that was a great press conference. When was this press conference? One day ago. Under the copyright disclaimer, okay, section 107, we have reviewed this and we gave commentary and we learned, okay, if we do not stop, we will win. Thank y'all for being at least over 100 people in here on a Saturday night, and it's not the same, look, we got justice for Drake. Tim got life. It's time. There's so many other. A mother is a mother, is a victim is a victim. I need y'all to fill the chat up for these other people too, these other stories. It's not about me, it's about them. So don't have me over here with 12 people in the chat, because folk gonna laugh and talk about me and make fun of me. It wouldn't matter. It could be one person. I'm still gonna come on here and be just as professional as I can and try to get justice, okay? It really don't matter. But I thank y'all for being in here. I do appreciate it. We got through the entire conference. We went over it's almost 2 hours. So, hey, it is what it is. It was a good press conference, was it not? So we're going to go. There's more things that we're going to be talking about. This channel is dedicated to victims and the families and their families and trying to get justice. And we're going to get Ben Crump to get, I'm telling y'all, just to show us you sitting here looking at me right now, Ben Crump will be doing a freaking press conference on Carlether Foley one day. He gonna be saying this man was in his bedroom playing with his gun, cleaning his gun, allegedly. It went through the wall. He went to work, didn't call the police. Something's not right about that. And we need justice. That's what Ben Crump gonna say. All right, let me get off my soapbox. Okay, y'all. Thank y'all. I wouldn't be, hold on, what y'all saying? What was she? Said, I don't know what that woman was saying about Michael Jordan, but they started walking off. I don't know what she was saying. I cut it off. What was she saying about Michael Jordan? I don't know. What was she saying about Michael Jordan? And we still have to finish the Tyree Nichols press conference. We will be finishing that. There's so many press conferences, child. It's just a lot going on. I cannot find it. I don't know what happened to her. But yeah, she started saying something about Michael Jordan, child. I don't know what Ben Crump, they start walking off. I'll catch the replay. Thank you. Okay, be safe and have a good time out of town. Enjoy yourself, sis. Thank you for supporting me. You're welcome, Janetta. Thank y'all for supporting me, honey. Thank you so much. I wouldn't be anywhere else, PP, much less we thank you, Simply Red. I appreciate you for continuing to watch. Because you know, a whole lot of y'all said y'all was going, oh, we going to come on back. Long after Tim Norman, we coming back. All right now. I'm going to hold you to it. Word is bond. Bond is word. Okay. All right. We all about justice over here. We ain't trying to hurt nobody. We ain't going to get hurt. Okay? We just going to do what we do. Love me or leave me. That goes for anybody. Okay? Okay, what kids will say? Please do not hesitate to contact ewithphillyfield talk show and more for all business inquiries. Email me at ewithphillyfield@yahoo.com. Okay. All right. You welcome, Miss Lillian. You welcome, Miss Lillian. Thank y'all. And if you thank you, Miss Lizzie, for that super sticker earlier. I appreciate you, honey. Thank you. I do this because I love doing it. Okay. I love doing these news shows. I feel like I'm on CNN and MSNBC. Okay, and y'all are my audience. All right. Maybe I need to go to journalism school. I said I wasn't going back to school, but I just might go take me some journalism classes. Okay, so I can be a bit more professional for you guys. I think I will enroll in me a journalism class. I'm gonna get with UALR. Yes, next week. I'm gonna do that. Word is bond. Okay, I gotta step my game up, honey. I gotta step my game up. So we got things to do. We got cases to solve. All right. Families to help. Ben Crump, we coming for you. Ben Crump, you gonna know who Carlether Foley is. Oh, you gonna know, Ben. Yeah, you gonna know. Thanks everyone for coming over and supporting PP. Yeah, thank y'all so much. I do appreciate it. Love you, baby. Love y'all too, honey. You better know it. See, I done got the rambling and running my mouth. Oh, there's one other thing I do want to show y'all. I'm glad I remembered. So hold on, good people. Hold on. Let me just because this is gonna be about Dre, so I'm gonna put that up there. Okay. Hold on. Let me get back up here. Let me move our little Dre out the way for a minute. Okay. This was a letter that we didn't get to see. One of Dre's friends wrote on the last minute, for Tim's sentencing. Says, hello, my name is Sherelle Smith, and my best friend was Andre Montgomery. Andre wasn't just my best friend, but he was my son's godfather. Come on, somebody. I'm writing you today because I've sat back and basically watched how everyone has gotten a slap on their wrists and a date to be released. Meanwhile, Andre is laying in a grave because his uncle and his minions planned his demise date. Woo! Come on, Miss Smith. Andre was one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my life. He came in my life during the toughest times, and I've always told him that he was an angel because he took on the responsibility to help me with my son, and I gave him the title of Godfather, and he never took the father part lightly. First day of preschool, birthdays, and holidays, Andre was calling at 12 a.m. Laugh out loud. If I went a long time without bringing my son to see him, he would call and he would say, he would call and say he was taking me to court for custody because I was taking away his rights as a father. That's what type of person he was. Come on, Dre. Let me read that again. She said, if I went a long time without bringing my son to see him, Dre would call and say he was taking her to court for custody because I was taking away his rights as a father. Laugh out loud. That's what type of person he was. Andre would never get the chance to become a real father. He would never get the chance to fight for his children because someone played God and planned his ending. Me and my son aren't the only ones who lost someone. His mother lost her son. His siblings lost their brother, and etc. I could go on and on about the impact that Dre had on everyone, but we'd be here all day, and what we are missing with him being gone. But instead, I am writing this letter to beg to sentence Tim with life in prison with no chance of getting out, with no chance of taking someone else's life, with no chance of stepping back in his kid's life just to selfishly walk away for greed. Please don't let Dre's life be equal to a sentence that could possibly put a monster back on the street, but a sentence that will sit the monster down to not have a good life to live because Andre can't. Attached is the last day my son spent with Andre, a day of fun and love. That's the last day her son spent with Dre. There you go. She wrote that letter. Guys, she wrote that letter. I may put this letter in a separate video. That was his friend. He was that baby's godfather. Okay, her name is Sherelle Smith, and he told her, she said she would take too long to let him see the baby, he'd call and say, I'm gonna take you to court and I'm gonna sue you for my custody rights. Okay. And that's the last day he got to spend with the little baby. Wow. Okay, guys, and with that, we're gonna end on that. We all know Dre was a good person. We watched him grow up on the show. We didn't have to meet him in person. Okay, and you can see how his mother is, that he was a reflection of her. She's a very sweet lady. Okay, you guys heard her speak at the finalization of Tim's sentencing. And with that, that's all I have to say. Thank you guys again for coming in here and supporting me as I do my other news stories and covering these other cases. One thing I want y'all to remember, and this goes for family members too, this right here.
It's been a long time, honey, but I know, Store. Everybody ain't your friend, everybody ain't your partner. I say I got you. Well, just hold it down and keep it solid. And when you're not around, I protect your name, I won't talk about you. Everybody ain't your friend. Fake love, I don't need it, you can keep it as a fact. Yeah.